I was born into a very strong Ukrainian Canadian family. I identified with being Ukrainian all of my life until I started questioning everything. In this video, I will cover the following topics from Personocratia's booklet number 2, Authority Towards Omnipotence. 1. A question of identity. 2. Human beings in the big picture. And 3. The ego. I will finish this video with a few humorous screenshots of President Volodymyr Zalensky and the spirit of Ukraine. Let us rejoice, because everything that unfolds in the world of lies is only an illusion, and this world of lies is disintegrating before our eyes exponentially. From hell on earth to paradise on earth, we are creating what most believe is impossible. It is up to us not to comply with any mandates or the coming CBDCs, yet have compassion towards others no matter where they are at on their evolutionary journey. The transitional years that we are experiencing right now will probably last for decades. We have passed the point of no return. All structures of society are collapsing, and this includes family life. Food and energy scarcity will become a huge problem in all developed countries, but especially the ones with cold winter climates and a short growing season. We are inviting you for a long-term stay at the guest house for $100 per week. Monthly rates to be discussed. Books and tools to learn Spanish are included. I will also provide detailed information on how to grow the miracle Sacha Inchi nut. Finally, I can create complex, reconstructive dental work at a cost of about 35% of European and North American prices. A long-term stay at the coffee, avocado, Sacha Inchi farm in southern Colombia will allow one to explore the area and find your individual solution to thrive during the challenging transitional years. Every day, I must reinforce my resolve to move forward on my evolutionary journey and energetically contribute towards the creation of the new species. Please share my videos so that they can reach the conscious individuals that are ready for this adventure. Infinite love. A question of identity. Who am I? This is a crucial question that has been bothering me for a long time. This fundamental question, the what of man, rose up in Satprem as he experienced life in German concentration camps during Second World War. What is left in a man when all has been taken away? Sooner or later, such a question flares up inside each of us. During intense moments of suffering, after the death of close relatives, or right before experiencing our own death. All religious and spiritual schools have answered this question in their own way. Some say that we are limited creatures, pitiful sinners, crudely fashioned by an unlimited outside creator. Others describe us as co-creators, small gods generating a tiny part of the universe we live in. Quantum physics sent us in a new direction, claiming that time and space exist in a single unit, the universe, where everything happened in the same place and at the same time. If this is so, I am neither the creature of an outside creator, nor the victim of a changeable environment or quick-tempered God. I am everywhere in timeless universe as the observed depends on the observer. Created matter is directly dependent on the creative spirit, me. I create everything in my image and likeness. I am inherent to any creation. I live inside all there is. I am Idessa, unlimited creatrix of the whole universe. If I'm truly Idessa, why did I incarnate in this hell on earth? And why did I forget who I really was? Obviously, Idessa never forgets anything. She is our consciousness. As Idessa, I have always known what and why I create. My present purpose is to establish an Idessic being in the world of matter, who will own all of the Idessic attributes. To achieve this, I created an extremely precise evolutionary plan to ensure that human beings would experience ever-increasing levels of duality, the separation of body and the soul. Up to now, only the human soul is immortal and remembers her Idessic nature. My unconscious and mortal body is not aware of his origin, his power, or his purpose. Like a car without a driver, the body becomes a remote-controlled robot, guided by his genetic and environmental programs. He needs to go to the end of a very painful road, that of intelligent animality. When he reaches the most profound level of absurdity, he finally screams, "I've had enough." Only then does he search and find his long-forgotten soul. And only then does he decide to unite with her and to jump into the new species. That is why my soul incarnated into an unconscious human body, so that he could wake up and be transformed by this change. A brilliant setup. Human beings in the big picture. Like Russian dolls, human beings are made up of multiple vibratory layers. The highest frequency is found in the center, while the lowest lies on the outside. Some useful definitions follow the table and its accompanying drawing. Both are based on the big picture of the evolution of human consciousness. Spirit, Idessa, unlimited creatrix, with all her attributes. Be careful. Do not confuse, as do the followers of many spiritual and scientific movements, the vibrations of spirit and those of the mental world. Soul, individualization of Idessa, with all her attributes. Be careful again with the confusion that exists between the psychic world of the soul and that of the emotional world, also called astral or vital. Mental body, thoughts, ideas, intuitions, judgments. Emotional body, feelings, drives, desires, passion. Physical body, habits, routines, genetic program, inertia. Note that in this booklet, the physical, emotional, and mental envelopes of the body are indicated by initials PEM, P-E-M. The ego. Immediately after the creation of humanity, the ego became its unifying element. It is around the ego that the various states of being were gathered. But now that we are approaching the birth of suprahumanity, the ego needs to disappear and leave its place to the psychic being, the soul, who, by divine intervention, slowly appeared and served to manifest the divine in each human being. Aurobindo and Mother, the psychic being. The ego is a false leader, the soul's substitute, when she's not yet in full charge of a human being. An imaginary personality who runs on autopilot. The ego follows two basic programs. The innate program, least important, is partially visible in the DNA inside our genes and invisible in all parts of the body where ancestral memories have accumulated. The acquired program, most important, is established by habits, values, customs, routines, and faiths. It is based on what I have learned since birth from my environment and currently fashionable family and social programming. All this accumulates in my body day after day. This experience is especially intense during the first years of my life, when I have not yet developed the mental and emotional barricades of an older and stiffer ego. Those two programs allow the ego to play his role to perfection. First, he needs to guarantee the survival of the species, and then that of the individual. Thus, the ego ensures the security of assets. All parts of the body, PEM, are influenced by these programs, which allow the ego to establish and maintain his power over them. With time, an elaborate personality takes shape, which Guy calls Goliath. She describes him as wearing sophisticated tools of protection, armor, shield, and sword, that he uses for attack and defense. Goliath is an animal programmed for survival. When I identify with him and give him power over my body, his influence becomes overwhelming. He resists with all his might any experience that would bring about the evolution of my soul and my body, because he is afraid of losing his grip and eventually dying. He exercises his authority over all three vibratory levels of my body. On the mental level, he scatters negation and doubt. On the emotional level, he stirs up desires and ties me to preferred objects or persons. On the physical level, he slows me down to a basic state of inertia and encourages me to obey him passively and mechanically. Goliath is ready to do anything to keep his monopoly of the body. He's afraid of losing his place as the dominant male figure inside of me. He hates being subjugated by his competitor, the soul, and works hard at purging the body of her influence, short-circuiting her ideas with lies. Goliath also proceeds by fission. He divides to conquer. The mental body is perpetually wedged between the duality of right and wrong. The emotional body cringes when his desires are denied. The physical body demands that his addictions be satisfied: sex, food, alcohol, etc. It's a vibratory war. Goliath is easy to identify because he has a typical behavior. He wants things fast. He's always looking for a quick fix. As soon as I want or do not want something, I am under the ego's authority. Every time I'm in a hurry or when I expect a specific result, Goliath is in charge inside of me. Like a predator, he is afraid that the prey he covets will escape. The fear of not getting the morsel is the animal program's most basic conflict, as Hammer explains in German New Medicine. I started this video saying that I strongly identified with being Ukrainian all of my life until I started questioning everything. All of my close family members continued their identification with being Ukrainian to the point of rejecting me even more because I make public comments about Ukraine that are not in line with the normal narrative. Further, I find it amusing that so many people on social media place the Ukrainian flag emoji absolutely everywhere. So, let's have a little bit of fun with some screenshots. Person of the Year, Volodymyr Zalensky, and the spirit of Ukraine. What a waste of time and money and lives. Person of the Year. Most of you will probably not know that the picture on the right is the trezub. The coat of arms of Ukraine is a blue shield with a gold trident. What I did not know is that the trezub is a modified version of the fleur de lis, used in the herald of numerous European nations, but is particularly associated with France. Let us take a moment to enjoy this true beauty. And then there is this and that. The American taxpayers' money and the Ukraine war. Biden, 10% for the big guy. And Nancy's cut. Handshake with Zelensky. Let us not forget Zelensky in heels and Zelensky performing. Captain Ukraine. Zelensky and the World Economic Forum. He is one of the young global leaders, but there was no room for him in this picture. Triumph of the beta male. Finally, let us not forget. Ukraine bans all exports of wheat, oats, and other crops. This sent food shockwaves around the world and will be clearly obvious in 2023, together with all the other worldwide crop losses that are of course due to climate change. Today, I am in awareness that all labels, such as nationality, religion, race, only serve to separate humanity. In reality, we are all one. We must first remember who we are, beyond the labels, and then understand what we are doing here on Earth, specifically right now. Infinite love.